guys? This is Rasker from Team Wings, and today I'm coming at you with a budget Monarch deck profile. I will be making a more high-end deck profile on the Monarchs, but this is seriously the funner one. This is probably the funnest one of the two. Using budget is it's surprisingly competitive, yet fun. It's just super fun. I cannot stress how awesome this deck is. And so without further ado, let's get straight into it. Remember, this is budget, so you won't see a lot of the cards in here. Like, this is using the structure decks, and really you do not need any more than the structure decks. So you play Tripper, Aether, the Heavenly Monarch. You can tribute summon him by using one tribute summon. By trading one tribute summoned monster. And if this card is tribute summoned, send 2 Monarch spell trap cards with different names from your hand or the deck to the graveyard, and if you do, special summon one monster with 24 or more attack and 1000 defense. So it brings out any of the monarchs that you have, but usually want to bring out Erebus. So in that sense, he is super good, but return it to the hand during the end phase. That's that. And except during your opponent's main phase, if this card, during your opponent's main phase, if this card is in your hand, you can banish 1 Monarch spell trap card from your graveyard immediately after his effect resolves. Tribute summon this card is quick effect. So he's always tributing himself out and bringing back another Monarch. So he's super good. This guy's mainly backroad destruction. When he tributed, like I said, send 2 spell traps. You can only use 1 tribute summon for him if you want to, with different names from your hand or deck to the graveyard. Shuffle 1 card from your opponent's hand and graveyard on their side of the field or into the deck. Once returned during your player's main phase, this card's in your graveyard. Discard 1 Monarch spell trap card, then target 1 monster in your graveyard with 2400 more attack and 1000 defense. Add to your hand. So it basically searches in the graveyard. So it's kind of funny because she brings out from the deck, she's like heaven and everything, and he's in the underworld, the graveyard, bringing monsters back up. So since this is budget, you run 2 of the Kais. The reason you run 2 Kais is because you have a lot of tribute fodder in this version that I play, and I'll play 1 card that's not necessarily needed, but I really think it's a fun card to play. If you guys think that 1's in there, definitely go ahead, be my guest, play 1. This is my personal opinion. But 2 is super good. Target 1 card on the field, banish it. If you do, inflict 1000 damage to your opponent if it was dark. So, I mean, if I'm mistaken, that's not too terribly bad. If you Joker them, they didn't have any search, which they never do. But I'm saying if they couldn't get their Joker search effect off, and you stopped it somehow, then what you could do is just have that on there, target 1 monster on the field, and then they'd take 1000, so it's pretty good. I'm just saying if. It's just a lot of situational times with this deck. 2 Mobius, the Frost Monarch. He is like a built-in Twin Twister, and he's a Monarch, which means he's searchable. I even play this in competitive version. I only play 1 of him. I'd only play 1 of him, but I definitely play him in here. He's a built-in Twin Twister, and I have no clue why nobody wouldn't play him. Like, targetable Monarch, built-in Twin Twister, 2400 beater. I mean, at worst, they're just going to have to try to run over him, so he can't be too bad. And then I play 1 Thessalos, the Firestorm Monarch. Thessalos is super good. Discard a random card from your opponent's hand. If it was a monster card, inflict damage to your opponent equal to its level times 100. So say it was a level 4, you deal 400 damage to them, level 5, 500, and so on. But if you're playing the mirror match, this is pretty funny to see. So you discard the random cards, say it was their Aether or Erebus, say it was one of these 2 guys, then it'd be super funny, because it'd be 8, and that'd be 800 damage to him, and there goes, and if it was this guy, that'd be kind of crappy for him. If he works from the grave, so he's not, super sad about that, but it'd be funny. Just deal 800, getting all their bosses out. And for the vassals, 1 Mithra. Dude, Mithra, too good. Special summon monster. You cannot special summon monster from your deck if you activate this effect. Also special summon this card. special summon this card, and if you do, special summon 1 Vassal token, and level 1, 800 attack, and 1000 defense to your opponent's side of the field in defense position. If this card is tributed for a tribute summon, activate the effect. You can tribute summon 1 monster during. You can extra tribute summon. So if you guys want me to summarize that, that is basically special summon her, give your opponent basically one of her as a token, and then you can activate another tribute summon. So kind of crazy good. Landro, the Rock Vassal. Dude, he is a out to infinity. You just flip your infinity face down. There's nothing more you can say for that. You could target one monster with 800 attack and 1000 defense to your graveyard, except Landro, and add to your hand when he is tributed. So it's basically trying to get all your other vassals out, or you can get a Mithra. But this guy I think is so funny, Lucius, the Shadow Vassal. I love Lucius. You can banish 1 level 5 or higher monster from your graveyard and special summon this card from your hand. Also, you cannot special summon a monster from the extra deck. If this card is tributed for a tribute summon, you can look at all set cards your opponent controls. Your opponent can activate cards or effects in response to this. You can only use them once per turn. So, not necessarily special summon them out. Usually normal. I mean, you could special, but you usually want to find a way to get that extra tribute summon with your Mithra, and then go into him, and then get his effect on off. If you have to, you can special. But I just think that's pretty cool to see what your opponent's sitting down there, see what they have laid down. Okay, and then triple idea, the Heavenly Squire. So good. Basically, you just want to special summon this guy and go into a loop, and then you can tribute summon for the big boss monsters of the deck. But if you guys don't know her effect, you can special summon 1 monster, 800 attack, 1000 defense from your deck in defense position, except Adia. Also, you cannot special summon monster from your extra deck for the rest of this turn. If it's sent to graveyard, target 1 banished Monarch spell or trap cards and add it to your hand. You can only use each effect of Idea once per turn. So super, super, super good. I mean, that's like fantastically good. Eidos is your main target for this. It cannot be normal. If this card is normal or special summon during your main phase, you can tribute summon 1 monster in addition to your normal summon and set. So it's super good just to get that going. Normal, special, tribute, whatever you want to do. And you can banish this card from your graveyard, target 1 800, 1000 defense, 800 attack, 1000 defense in graveyard, except himself. Special summon in defense position. You cannot special summon the monsters from the extra deck, and you can only use it once per turn. So this is pretty cool once he's in the graveyard and get another vassal out. It's just, these guys have so much synergy, these 9 cards. They have so much synergy with each other, and it's just so fun to play with them. So, for the other monsters, triple Battle Fader. Seriously, you gotta play Battle Fader in this version of the deck. Since this is less competitive, I definitely say it's funner, but since this is less competitive than the high-end version, and you're definitely going to be playing against Pepe, you kind of have this protection, and I'm only using cards that were in here, but if you want to, I'd play a couple Maxis and a couple Veilers. It's just the sad reality that you have to play in the meta, that you have to play these cards. But let's move on to the spells. Triple Domain of the Monarchs, of the true Monarchs, actually. No cards in your extra deck, which you usually don't because you're not allowed to use them with most of the monster's effects. And you're the only player that controls a tribute summon monster. Your opponent cannot special summon monster from the extra deck. So, shuts Pepe down. If a tribute summon monster you control attacks opponent directly, gains 800 during damage calc only. Once per turn, you can reduce the level of 1 monster to 2800 attack and 1000 defense in your hand by 2, so it makes them 1 tribute monster until the end of this turn, even if they're special summon or set when this card leaves the field. That is super good. That just means that these guys just become level 6s, and you can use a regular tribute for them, so crazy. Triple Panthesium of the Monarchs. Send 1 Monarch spell or trap card from your hand and graveyard, draw 2 cards. This is mainly the consistency booster. And reveal 3 Monarch spell or trap cards from your deck. Your opponent chooses 1 to add to your hand, and you shuffle the rest back into your deck. So not only is it draw power, It's a +3 basically. Draw 2 random cards and pick out any of the monarchs. Pick out any other card in this, and your opponent can add it to your hand. Any card you really want. And triple Monarch Stormforth, this guy's super good at 3. If you would tribute summon a monster for a tribute summon, you could tribute one of your opponent's monsters, which is just so good. Such just a slap in the face right there. And you can only activate once per turn. During the turn you activate this, you cannot special summon from the extra deck, which you never do. You don't even have an extra deck. So it's super good. You could just use it for your Caiuses or your Mobiuses or your Thessalos. And if you have the effect of Domain One, you can even use your big beaters, Erebus and Adius. Yeah, I said that. Aether, sorry. But it's just super good. 2 Tenacity, I don't like 3 Tenacity. 3 Tenacity is kind of mad, I guess. You could play it at 3, but I like 2. Definitely be my guess to put in more. Reveal 1 Monarch, 1 monster. It's basically one main Monarch. 2400 attack and 1000 defense, or 2800 attack and 1000 defense. Add a Monarch spell or trap card from your deck to your hand, except Tenacity. And you can only activate once per turn. So having 2 Tenacity is good. 3 is a little cloggy. I wouldn't say it's fantastic, but if you want to, be my guest. Double Return of the Monarchs. You cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck when you tribute summon a monster and activate one of these effects. Add from your deck a monster with 2400 attack and 1000 defense. Add from your deck to your hand a monster with 2800 attack and 1000 defense with a different name from that tribute summon monster. So if you got your Erebus out, you can get your Ether. So it's pretty good. Or vice versa, or Caius, or Mobius, or Thessalos, any of the monarchs you have. And the true summon monsters must be face up on the field to activate this effect. So I played around with 3. I really like 3, and I'm back and forth between having. I think my final build's going to be 2 Battle Fader and triple Return. I just think that's so good, but stops OTKs right there. 1 Strike of the Monarchs. I guess it's good to get your Erebus in the graveyard, but most of them really don't want. I mean, unless you Erebus to your hand. But strike, tribute level 5 or higher normal summon set monster, and then target 1 card on the field, negates effects, draw a card. So it's pretty good for consistency boosting. And during the main phase, if this card's in your graveyard, banish this and declare 1 attribute, which you don't really use, but it's kind of like tributing a monster for a Fiendish Chain and draw a card. I don't know how I feel about it. I like playing 1. It works well. 1 March of the Monarchs. Tribute some monster you control cannot be destroyed by card effects. So I guess that's pretty good if they're trying to like Raigeki or something. But you cannot special summon monsters from your extra deck. It's just good to have. And 2 Prime Monarchs is basically tribute tribute fodder. I'm so sorry. And you can target 2 marked spells or trap cards in your graveyard, shuffle them in the deck, draw a card. If this card is in your graveyard, banish one of the Monarch spell or trap card, special summon this guy as a monster. Fairy type, light, level 5, 1000 attack, 2400 defense. And it's not treated as a trap, it's treated as a monster. So it's super good just basically for tribute fodder or if you're about to be OTK'd. So I hope you guys enjoyed this deck profile. It was my budget build Monarchs. I'm working on my regular Monarchs. I might not even continue with it because this deck is so fun, you guys. If you're looking for something competitive, super fun, I so recommend trying this out. And I might even have a real life version of this for you guys coming out. I might be going to my local soon, picking up 3 of these because just super crazy, guys. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this deck profile. If you did, don't forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you all next time. Peace out, dudes.